Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a very long time since I have sat in front of the camera, filmed, uploaded, and to be completely honest, I'm feeling really nervous and anxious right now. So basically for today's video, I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of a life update, talk about where I've been, why I left for a while. So if you are interested in learning more about that, then let's go ahead and just jump right in. Okay, so first off, I just want to say that this isn't just a YouTube thing. This is a life thing that I have been going through. Basically, to kind of start off, I don't want to give too many details. I don't want to sit here and wallow in misery because I feel like that was kind of part of the problem. So I just want to put a little bit of it out there because I do have really amazing friends and subscribers here on YouTube, and I hate that I just kind of disappeared out of nowhere. So that's what the purpose of this video is for, is just to give a little bit of clarification and to talk about where I'm moving forward. So basically, it all started about 5 to 6 months ago at this point. I basically just started to kind of mentally deteriorate, but because of my personality, being type A, being someone who really thrives with being in control, I am pretty expert on putting on a game face. I have always been that way for pretty much my entire life, and the only people who I tend to let in and who really know when something is wrong are my parents, my immediate family members, and my husband, and that is literally it because I've just mastered that skill. But about 5 to 6 months ago, I started to mentally deteriorate to the point, and I mentioned a little bit of this in one of my videos where I was talking about mental health in general, and my anxiety was through the roof. I started to experience a lot of depression with that as well. For those of you who don't know or don't have a lot of experience with mental illness, those two disorders, anxiety and depression, tend to be comorbid or go hand in hand together, because when you're so anxious that it's hard for you to function, obviously it's very easy for you to become depressed. So that's what happened to me. And it got to a point over the months, because I was like, full disclosure, I had never been in therapy in my entire life. And I was always just one who really tried to push through and just deal with things on my own. So I was just kind of spiraling down, and my parents were like, what's going on? My husband was like, what's going on? And I was like, I don't even know, because I had never really done that kind of self-exploration that people tend to do in therapy or do in some sort of spiritual way. I'd never done that before. So I was just like, I have no idea what's going on, but this is just really bad and it feels unbearable to me. So fast forward to where I was almost 4 weeks ago. I was on break from school, and my husband went on vacation to his family reunion up north. So I was left here with my parents, and that was when things got really bad, where I hit rock bottom, and my anxiety and depression was so significant that I couldn't function without having someone with me. So that's that, okay? Through that process, I have learned so much about myself, and I'm not out of the trenches yet by any stretch of the imagination, but I have learned basically that for such a long period of time, I was doing things in my life to fulfill what other people wanted me to do. And what I mean by that is I am such a huge people pleaser. I thrive whenever people are happy with me, when I feel loved by other people. So I was just doing so much, mostly within the school dynamic, for other people. And I wasn't taking enough time and thinking through about, is this really what I want to do? is this going to be a healthy route for me? So I've mentioned several times here on my channel that I worked with children who have been sexually abused. And I was really deep into trauma work in general, with a main focus on sexual trauma. So with that being said, over the past several months, I have come to realize that that was not a healthy path for me. I was, in a way, relating to my kiddos more than I should have been. And that isn't healthy for me or for them. So with that being said, I made a really huge career change. So if you aren't familiar, I'm currently in my 3rd year of a doctoral program in clinical psychology, and a program in total takes 5 years to complete. So I decided to completely change my path whenever I'm supposed to be like really in depth into my track. So now I am obviously still on track to graduate and everything like that, but I'm just taking the time to figure out exactly what would be healthy for me, what kind of lights my soul on fire, and what is just a better choice for me overall. So through that process, I have realized that I love teaching, which is probably why I love my channel so much, because I get to, you know, in a haphazard way, teach makeup. So I just realized that this is something I thoroughly enjoy. So I am actually doing a teaching assistant right now, where I am a instructor, not professor, obviously, because you have to be a doctor to be called professor, but I am an instructor for an undergraduate class, and it is my class. So I have like all of my little nuggets, my little students, and I teach in person, and I have realized that it is so fulfilling to me. So I am really enjoying that so much. And I'm also doing some other supervisory positions as a peer mentor, and I'm just kind of finding my footing again professionally. And then within YouTube, I also took a lot of time to really look at what my channel is and what it's serving for me. So because I'm so goal-oriented and focused on trying to be successful, I realized throughout this whole learning process that I was trying to chase what other people were doing, and I was trying to find inspiration through other people's ideas instead of just focusing on genuinely what I love to do, which is to teach makeup and do tutorials. So a lot of that is not seeing my channel grow, and as much as anyone sits here and says, you know, I just do this for the love of makeup, which is so true and it's so accurate. At the same time, whenever you see those numbers go up, it's a rush, right? And we all love that feeling. So I'm not going to deny that it was difficult seeing my channel not flourish the way that my friends' channels were flourishing. And obviously, I know part of that is just the consistency of putting videos up, but I think a huge part was that I was trying to create videos that weren't consistent with what I love about makeup. And that for me, like I said, is doing tutorials and doing monthly favorites. So instead I was trying to create like all of these different series in my mind where I'm talking about makeup and, you know, that I don't even have. And looking back, I'm like, okay, so I'm talking about makeup that I don't have, and I'm referring to like Wishlist Wednesday and stuff like that. And that doesn't mean that I'll never do that series again. It just means that I was putting so much pressure trying to be other people that I wasn't focusing on truly what was making me happy. And I think that's how you become successful, is really just honing in on yourself and what makes you feel good. And it has taken me a very long time to come to that conclusion and to realize that. So that has been a huge learning lesson for me as well. And then also like setting this expectation, like, okay, I'm in graduate school, but at the same time, I really want to be successful with makeup, because my ultimate dream would be to create a very healthy makeup line that is cruelty free and has really good ingredients. That is like my big dream, right? So obviously, in order to accomplish that goal, you need to have a following, you know, to a certain degree in general. So with that in mind, I was trying to push so hard that I wasn't focusing on what really makes me feel good. So that being said, there are going to obviously be some big changes here on my channel. And when I say big, I just really mean the content. And I'm not going to sit here right now and promise you that I'm going to have 3 videos up every single week from this point forward, just because I, first off, don't want to let y'all down by saying that, because I have said that in the past, in the recent past, and I haven't fulfilled that goal. So what I am learning is that it's so much better to just set smaller goals, and then if you supersede that, then you feel even better about yourself. So that's what I'm going to do, and I am hoping to get 1 video up per week. And hopefully I will have the energy at this point to do more. And if I don't, that's okay. So that's where my channel is at this point. And I know that my girls and any boys that watch too, I haven't really had a lot of comments from guys. So that's why I say my girls will support me in that. I feel very close to you. So in addition to that, I also wanted to kind of touch on my book, because I know a few of you are interested in that part of my life as well. So my book was entitled The Unspoken Danger, and it is a novel that was loosely based on several different life events that happened to me. And with that being said, I again was focusing so much on the negative stuff that has happened in my life. And I have recently kind of had this epiphany of, why am I trying to like vicariously live that part of my life again whenever I have so much good in my life right now? So it just wasn't making sense to me. And that's probably why, even though I have 8 like really solid chapters written, it was hard for me to sit down and write, and I was constantly reliving things that were terrible, that were so terrible. So now I have printed out those 8 chapters, and I have a new focus of where I want my book to go, and I'm not going to disclose that until it is in the final draft session. And then I will talk more about my journey, and I have decided that I'm also going to use my book channel, which I only have like 1 video on that, to talk about my process as a brand new writer, someone who has never done this before. I published with academic articles and doing studies and things like that, but I've never even journaled in my entire life. So this is a really new experience for me, and I thought that I might kind of document that process and open up a dialogue for other people who are thinking about writing a book, who have questions about all of the problems that I've run into, which, trust me, there have been many, and I'm sure that there will be many more, because I'm still in that first draft process. So that being said, my book has still some very difficult aspects of it. One in particular, which is actually the opening scene. So I never thought that I would take that out, and I'm not going to, but the overall feel of the book has a much more positive spin on it, and that makes me feel really, really good. So I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and I hope to be doing that for the rest of my life, forever. And I just wanted to come on here and kind of share a little bit of my journey and my process of what's been going on. And so that being said, I am probably going to be uploading a video. Hopefully I'll be able to film it tonight, if not tomorrow, of the 21 days of Ulta Beauty sale, because I really, really do love that sale. It is like my favorite makeup and beauty sale of all time, and I know that obviously I'm like late to the game, but we still have a majority of the month left. So I am going to be talking about my top picks and why from that sale. So hopefully I will have 2 videos up for you this week. And then I am hoping to be able to film a makeup tutorial for you next week. So it feels good to be back, but again, I'm not setting lofty expectations on myself because I am on that journey of self-love and just making sure that I don't do things that are going to be too difficult to fulfill, honestly. So yeah, I hope that this was enlightening, if not just about me, but about, you know, the fact that you see someone on camera, social media, or even in real life. Like, I mean, shoot, I see people in my program and in real life, and I'm like, dang, they really got their stuff together, you know? And then come to find out they're struggling just like anyone else. So this is just me, human to human, sharing my struggle, and hopefully, well, I will be triumphant in this, and I'm going to come out on top. So it's just getting there. And that's all I have to say. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this kind of heart to heart, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.